Welcome to the Freelance Drive. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. Stay tuned for real-life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Norman Schütt, a senior dev with benefits who shares his experience and insights into the world of software development to help companies minimize technical debt, build sustainable processes, and strengthen development teams. And today, by the way, I also know that Norman recently started his video company. And today we'll discuss why should freelancers care about video content and how to create a good one. So welcome, Norman.
Hi.
Super happy to talk to you. I told you this before the recording, and I will repeat that when I see your setup, I know, like, even if you are not inside the video, I will understand who is this creator of this video. So I totally, connect you with this picture. And I'm still curious, when did you start making video content?
Yeah, I started a while back because I didn't initially make video content for LinkedIn. Like maybe that's where I make the most content right now. But I initially started making drum cover videos for Instagram and YouTube. These are small videos where you try to reproduce some drum parts or the whole part, a whole track of some songs which you like to play. And I did this because I just wanted to learn how to do that. It's not about, hey, look at me, I'm playing this track. It's more like seeing other creators, and thinking, wow, that looks really nice and sounds really nice, and I want to learn how to do that stuff. Yeah, and then I just started, and I think it was 2 years ago or something like that.
And why did you decide to go for videos for LinkedIn? And because it's still different, when you are making like
Yeah.
musical content, it's like you are playing music and then you are doing this, but you have to also talk and people have to listen to you. So I'm curious, why did you switch to videos on LinkedIn?
This was a very long transition. I made these videos just to learn, but at some point I didn't know how to do them. So I started to get bored again. and, and yeah, making music videos for YouTube, it's something you have to put in really much energy and really much, money for equipment and of your time. And yeah, at some point you start asking why I'm doing this. I'm not getting anything back besides it's a lot of fun, of course, but yeah. So what can I do to use these skills and get something out of it? And that's where these personal branding things and stuff came along, and I tried to, okay, maybe I can use it for my profession as well. And yeah, then I started to dig in how to do personal branding stuff and videos, and yeah, it's hard to think about, what even should I talk about? I mean, yeah, what are other people interested in? And that's a whole other journey, but it's fun. It's fun as well.
I feel like there are two parts, to creating a video. So first, definitely it's like all this video part and like creation, production, etc. But also it's, as you've said, finding the topics, what to talk about. So let's start with the beginning. How do you choose topics to make videos about?
It's a tough one. How do I choose topics? Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's more like whatever comes to my mind, and I try to think about how does this have a purpose for my audience, my really small audience right now, but how does it fit into my brand message, and these kind of things. And I think these videos are mostly about my daily impressions of how we work as software engineers and how these teams function. And it's more like, okay, I had this thought somewhere in my career, and I just wanted to think about it. And sometimes I'm getting one or more video scripts out of it.
So what does your step-by-step video creation process look like? Let's say you have an idea, you have something to talk about. What happens next?
I build really strong systems for that, actually, because I'm making 2 videos a week, and as you can imagine, with a full-time job, it's not possible to do it just on the side at weekends or evenings. So I built some systems, and I'm a really strong Notion user since I had the need, and I have multiple folders, pages and subpages where I start with the first one is I put in an idea, can be a headline or just something that is incoming, maybe an inspiration from another post from another creator. Then I put it in there. And then when I have my time block in my calendar where it says, hey, you need to write scripts, then I take this 1 or 2 hours and I go through these ideas and just think about what's creating a spark right now, where I can grasp something out of it, and then I'm going into refinement of these scripts because I'm a software developer. We need refinements. We need more refinements, and yeah, then there's a step-by-step process, and in the last folder, I can just go into my studio and really read it sentence by sentence because it's written in a way where you don't have to think about what you're saying because that is a really pain if you're doing that with 7 videos in half an hour or something like that. So it's batch filming then.
So am I hearing it correctly that you are creating a script with small readable sentences and then just record them like one sentence, pause, another sentence, pause. So, okay, so what happens next?
Then I have these video files and I upload them to my great editor because I'm not doing this by myself.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking that you was doing also
Almost
the
everything.
editing.
Yeah.
So what is the hardest part of the video creation process?
I think the hardest part is to come up with these ideas because it's you try to get something out of it. Yeah, there's always this balance between yeah, it's just your opinion and it's something you thought about right now, but how does this have any impact on your audience? Yeah, it's something you have to add, and I think it's really hard to combine just your own ideas and stuff and formulate it in a way that maybe someone else sees a value in it.
What helps you to make videos engaging? How do you ensure that when you made something, how do you see, how do you understand that it's really the way you should keep going? Or maybe you should change something. So how do you know that?
That's quite difficult because my videos are about software engineering or any part of that or the human part of it. And I feel like, especially on LinkedIn, you have the problem that there is an audience which is mostly interested in HR and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think software engineering as a topic is not very interesting for most people there. So I try to find a balance because I made this one video which was, in my opinion, or for my small audience, was very much blowing up with I think more than 100,000 views, which is yeah very nice. But it was about job hopping. Yeah, how your CV looks like if you're taking on another job after 2 years, and you do that every time. How that looks for most people, and yeah, this has nothing to do with my profession, but it's something that's yeah, it's just something that came to my mind because I had that I hate that it is this way, you know, and I try to find a balance between things where I know there's a big audience on LinkedIn, um, and but also make videos about my profession and things people I work with care about.
You know, I feel like it's really hard to, when you are creating a content like posts or videos, to really kind of feel people who we are creating this content for. Because, you know, when you are trying to create a content, you have this thoughts that maybe people are curious about that. So I
Mm.
will talk about this. But I have a pretty similar history that you are talking about with your video, when I just randomly made a post on LinkedIn about Duolingo, that I doing like 10 lessons a day, and I still was at some point at the end of the league, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm happy to share with everyone that I was demoted to the like end of the list for this week of Duolingo, and it was just emotions like how is it even possible? Like who are those people who are doing all this stuff? Are they just sitting and like learning Duolingo every day? Do they have a job or something like that? How is it even possible? And once again, like the pure emotions, it got like a huge reach, a lot of comments, a lot of conversations, and it's I feel like it's really the art to become this kind of like person who can articulate their emotions, but also in a way that people can really feel them through a video content or through a posting content. So I'm also curious, do you repurpose the video content that you create somehow?
Not really. It's I make these videos, and I mean I have the scripts. That's for one thing a good context for any AI, ne? And
Yeah.
that's one thing I do. But other than that, I plan to repost some videos because there are some videos maybe they are not getting old that fast. So maybe after 6 months or something, you can just repost them. I see other people do that. Um, and I think most of the scripts have something in it where you maybe can start pulling out another perspective. That's something I plan to do and did do 1 or 2 times. Yeah, but I guess these short form videos, it's not really easy to repurpose them. I think it's easier for long form content.
Yeah, out of this conversation, we can create so much content, but
Yeah.
the idea is to really, really, really go to like the deep, like to find the nuggets, to go to the point, not just create some kind of content. So
Yeah.
I totally understand what you're talking about, and I'm curious, on your content creation journey, what tools do you use?
Yeah, I'm using different apps for taking notes. I'm using apps for controlling my camera, and yeah, for video editing, I use DaVinci Resolve.
Hmm.
For scripting, I'm a really heavy Claude AI user. I think Claude AI is just the best for it feels natural to me. So I created a big context, ne? With this stuff. You are my professional copywriter for my content. You know the drill. And that's something I do a lot because it really helps me. Yeah, because yeah, maybe that's the hardest part about making content. It's for me sometimes hard to get out of my head what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
It's really hard to formulate what's going on in your mind sometimes, and it helps me to just chat with a GPT about it. And um, yeah, I'm using storyteller tactics.
Hmm.
Maybe it's something you heard about. These are really great because I'm I'm with a technical background, so it's really hard for me to create stories. Yeah. So I use a tool for that as well to refine some of the basic structure of these scripts and something like that. Yeah. What else? Using Buffer for my content scheduling about for
Hmm.
these 3 platforms I'm posting on. Yeah, but I think that's about it.
By the way, on what platforms do you usually post content?
I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. But yeah, it's all these short form vertical.
I feel like pretty much the same journey, when I'm like making a post, I'm not just writing right away the like amazing post or something like that. It's all about I'm just dumping my thoughts that I have in my mind. Like I have some idea, I have some kind of a structure, then I just put everything into GPT and like,
Hmm.
hey, can you help me to structure it? And then it tells me like, hey, here's the structure. I'm like, nah, I don't like this. Let's change this part. Let's
Yeah.
change this part. And then at the end of the day, like, yeah, I totally get it. You're having this GPT as your kind of like opponent who are you talking to,
Yeah.
who you're
Yeah.
like discussing the ideas about, and then you have like something hopefully good enough, but you never know.
Yeah.
So still to make a video and text post, it's like different things. So if you are making a text post,
Mhm.
you're just writing. Nobody cares about like your background. Nobody cares
Mhm.
about the quality of video, of sound, of how you talk. So I wonder, what skills did you improve because of making videos?
That's a very good question. A lot of skills. Really, it's you wouldn't believe me if I say it's on a personal development level. It is a game changer to just make videos. It's really I really feel so. Because it's not about just speaking to a camera. It's all these things around. And you know the protege effect. It's something Ali Abdal speaks a lot about because that's something. If you try to teach someone a thing, then you automatically get better at it. And that's something I think is a really great yeah, let's call it skill. Yeah, it's just something that happened to me. And yeah, then of course all these um, skills like speaking to a camera itself. It's like something like if you just start doing videos, you will realize it feels real weird to speak to a lens. Yeah, but because there is no one, and yeah, but I learned that pretty fast. Um, I learned how to have these different systems because you have to organize yourself in a very efficient way. It's really more work than you think.
You just gave me an idea, and maybe someone who listens to this conversation can make it into life. I can imagine that some kind of screen that you put behind or on top of your camera when you're recording videos that listens to you, and like there is this face of some kind of AI
Yeah,
generated person who like
yeah.
nods, like who are like smiling at you, and who are like kind of like making this eye contact with you when you are doing the video. So when you are creating the personal video, it doesn't feel like you are talking to yourself, but it's more like you are talking to some kind of a real human.
Mhm.
But I believe it will be game changer, for content creators, because
Yeah, yeah.
it's so weird when you're talking to the camera, but when you're talking to someone, it's totally different. And that's exactly why I love podcasts, because it's still a conversation going. You still see someone on the end on another screen, and you are not just talking to yourself, which is kind of weird sometimes. I totally get
Yeah,
it.
of course.
And if someone wants to start making videos, what are 3 small steps for them to take right away?
I think the easiest way to do videos is just starting because I really think there's no way you can plan all of this by yourself in the first time. Yeah, that you have to start the iteration process and just do it and review it and think about what's not the way you wanted it, and then replace it with something else or try to get better. What really helped me getting into the process of thinking about light setups and color grading and all that stuff is, and it's really also a great motivation source. Source of motivation is start watching YouTube channels about filmmaking.
Mm.
Yeah, because filmmakers, these are really great in teaching how to how to how do different light setups affect how you are perceived for your audience and something like that. It's really nice, um, and for me, it's creating this movement. Yeah, you want to go out, you want to grab a camera and try stuff on your own, and um, yeah. What would be the third one?
The hardest part. It's the hardest part.
What's what's the hardest step? Yeah, if you have videos, just post them. I think one thing that everyone has to have in mind, it's from a post from Yuri, I guess. No one cares.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the last step you have to do when you have created some videos is to post them because no one cares, and it's a it feels strange at the beginning, I think, but if you do that, you realize that a lot of people watch your content, but most of them don't realize that it is you, or um, what you actually were saying or something like that. Most people are more like, hey, you make these videos, it's great. And it's a good thing. Don't overthink. That's the last step, I think.
And also, I feel like when you are doing a video, it feels like people are really seeing you as you are. So, because, when you're reading someone post, you are reading it with your voice, with the way you want to read it. So
Yeah.
basically, you read it through your mind. But when you listen to a video or listen to someone's telling you something, you are listening to them. So you are listening exactly to this person in exactly in the way that they want to say it, exactly in their voice, and then it feels like you are more connecting with a person when you are like listening to their
Yeah,
video or
absolutely. Yeah.
podcast or, and yeah, about the point that no one cares. I did a little bit of research of famous podcasters and YouTubers and video creators. And I was like, oh my God, this person, they had overnight success. They become so successful. And then I see like, oh yeah, they started like 5 years ago or 7 years ago or 10 years
Yeah.
ago. And then I come back. Most people are deleting their first videos, but those people who are not, I remember I went to a few creators like when they were like 6 years ago, like first videos. And it's a huge difference between their first video and the final
Yeah,
videos that
absolutely. Yeah.
everyone see and like, oh my God, you are a creator. So I feel like everyone has to go through this journey because otherwise, how would you learn?
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at my first video, I'm really cringe about it. And if I'm looking at my last video, I'm proud that I made that because it was really, really hard to do that. And yeah, it's just something you have to do. There's no shortcut for that. And also,
Yeah.
there's this little sentence. Um, I have to think about it every time because when you start something, people feel like you are cringe. Yeah, but if it works, you are a genius. But there's a transition between it.
Yeah. Something that people usually forgetting about. And Norman, I wish to have the sky as a limit, but time is a limit to our conversation. So the final question, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food. I think it's. I'm really fan of German Rouladen. You know what?
No,
It's
not
these
yet.
yeah, these I don't know how to describe it. It's meat that's get rolled up with cucumber in it and some mustard and stuff. And yeah,
Got it.
because I'm from Thuringia, it's a kind of traditional food there, and yeah, I really like to be reminded, yeah, on that.
I will check it. I will check it. And what is the best way to connect with you?
Best way to connect with me is definitely on LinkedIn.
Got it. Got it. Norman, thank you so much for sharing your experience. And it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity to being here.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button on 5 stars and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.